There's a lot of rules now, right? You can't do a lot of stuff. But the one thing I won't do is I won't guess gender. I just don't do it. I go, hey. When I was younger, I used to go, hey, you! And my mom would go, that is rude. Turns out it's the most woke thing you could ever say. Who knew construction workers have been ahead of the game this entire time? I was in San Francisco getting a coffee one time, and I walked in, and the person working had a name tag on, and it said Eric. And Eric had a beard. I don't pretend to know where Eric's life started, but that dude, that day, I'm pretty sure he was a dude. Right? And so I said, hey, Eric, can I get a coffee? And he goes, no problem. And I said, all right, just 1 pump of vanilla, please. And he goes, yep. And then he turned around and put 4 pumps of vanilla in it. And I go, that's going to be too much vanilla. I'm going to be eating Little Debbie zebra rolls with that coffee, and that's too sweet. So I was going to say, excuse me, sir, but instead of saying sir, I freaked out and held the S, trying to think of something else that started with S till I ran out of breath. I was like, excuse me, I'm a snake. And then I left without my coffee. I'm gonna retell that story in 3 chunks. Paid for coffee, told another person I was a snake, then I left without my coffee. And my friend waiting outside was like, where's your coffee? And I was like, snakes don't have hands, idiot! I was so embarrassed I held on to the lie for 2 more blocks.
I think a lot of it is society's fault. By the way, can I recommend the next time you're worried about a personal flaw, just blame society. It feels good, because not only do you get to seem like clever and insightful, you also just get away with whatever's wrong with you. I think you'll find it's society's fault my house smells like this. Good day.
Los Angeles is full of a lot of people that are very interesting. I have 4 younger than me friends who have said to me in the last several years that they were empaths. Not I'm empathetic, not I'm sympathetic, not I'm patient, tolerant, or kind, but I am an empath. Nope. I'm like Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, like Deanna Troi from Star Trek: The Next Generation, like a demon from Buffy. No, you are not an empath. You had a human experience. Someone was crying. You made eye contact. Someone looked up from their phone, and you were there. And my buddy, who I love dearly, said to me, no, it's more than that. It's like when someone else's dog dies, I feel it just as badly as they do. And I was like, wow, do you feel the hostility coming off of me? You getting that? Because the word you're looking for is narcissism, and you're killing me. They were all much younger than me. They were all, I'm a Gen X, the whole generational thing, I don't get it, I don't care. They never even named the generations before the boomers. And then that guy wrote the book, The Greatest Generation. They never called themselves that, by the way, just so you know. Nobody has ever said, hey, we're the greatest generation, follow that. Because that is not how you talk to the next generation. Here's how you talk to the next generation. I'm sorry, we couldn't fix it. Please help. And they were all millennials, and I'm Gen X, and we got guff. Back in the 80s, I got guff. I was told I was a slacker. I was told that I had played too many video games. And it turned out I lived. So it's all gonna work out. But I will say this, I have never seen the pile of guff that you people get. Everyone younger than the Gen X, so much guff. So much guff. You've caused everything. You've done everything wrong. My favorite thing you've done wrong, I don't know if you know this, but you don't know how to read maps. Did you hear about that? You don't know how to read them. We used to read maps all the time. They don't know how to read maps. They're always looking at their devices. They don't know how to read maps. They're always looking at their devices. I have this to say. I was there in the 80s. There was some map usage. Not as much as has been reported. We mostly use people. I would call you. I would go, I live here, you live there. How do I get there? I'd write down the directions on a piece of paper. I'd leave that piece of paper on the kitchen table. I'd get into my car and drive as far as I remember. And then I'd pull over and go to a gas station or a grocery store and call you again. Where do you live from here, I'd say. So you were not fighting a pile of Magellans. We don't know how to read the stars either. If I see a tree and it has moss on it, I absolutely never think to myself, ooh, north. I think dirty tree. Dirty.
And this is strange, but my entire family and I, including my mom, are actually world champion foosball players. Yeah, thank you. And my mom is in the Foosball Hall of Fame. Yeah. But every time my mom gets a new nurse, the nurse will always ask her about her life. And my mom always goes, well, I'm in the Foosball Hall of Fame. And every nurse goes, sure you are. Mm-hmm. And I'm always standing there like, oh, yeah, no, I know that sounds made up, but I swear it's real. And the nurse is like, hey, you don't have to. And I'm like, lady, I swear to God, I can show you her trophies, I can show you a video of her playing. And that's when the nurse starts to look at the other nurses like, oh, does the daughter have dementia too? It's like a T-Mobile family plan of dementia. It's like too weird to believe. And my mom growing up was also somebody you did not want to cross. My parents got divorced in the 90s, back when there were home phone answering machines. And before the divorce, our answering machine message was my dad saying, you've reached the Cooks, please leave us a message. And then after the divorce, my mom had changed it to her just blasting Alanis Morissette's You Oughta Know. So every time my dad would call, my mom would let it go to the machine so that if he wanted to leave a message for her, every time, he first had to sit through the lyrics, and I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. I mean, that's a bad move right there. That takes balls. Because it's not like that was just the message for when my dad called. That was the message for literally anybody who called our house. So after a while, we started to get messages from people like, hey, this is Dave from Blockbuster. And, I'm here to remind you. Your Space Jam VHS is overdue. Really sorry about whatever you're going through.
And it's really exciting to be able to tell this joke where people understand what a garage refrigerator is. It's wonderful, okay? Because I live in Los Angeles right now. And when I talk about having a garage refrigerator to a Los Angeles audience, all they hear is 2 refrigerators. Someone must have grown up a billionaire. And I have to correct him. I'm like, oh no, you don't understand what a garage refrigerator means for most of the United States. A garage refrigerator simply means you finally got a new refrigerator. And then you said, don't throw the broken one away. That's for weird shit now. That's for things that should get cold, but if they don't, that's still okay. That's for things we don't want around the everyday milk and eggs, you know? That's for more loose deer meat in a Ziploc. That's what we're gonna put out in the garage refrigerator. Stuff from your neighbor, that goes in the garage refrigerator. You know what I mean? Your neighbor Gerry shows up, he's like, you want any of this meat? That I shot him. Like, you wrecked your car, Gerry, you hit that meat, I know that. That's hit meat.
I grew up with a thick Wisconsin accent, but I had no clue I had a Wisconsin accent until Siri first came out. Remember that? I was like, hey there, Siri, how in the heck are you? Hey, tell your folks I says hi. Listen, I'm looking for directions to the nearest Fleet Farm, okay? I think they got one over there by the Quick Trip, and honestly, I gotta fill my gas, okay? So why don't you get me directions to Fleet Farm, and then the Quick Trip, and if there's a Culver's in between there, I won't be mad, okay? And you know, there are a lot of other iPhone users out there, and I want you to know that I know that. So if you got to, go ahead and get to me last, okay? Boop! Dialing 911. You are having a stroke.
Here's a sport I can't watch. Baseball makes me want to die. Nothing happens, and it happens slowly. And the players don't care. They finally put a clock on it, but they need more clocks on it. It's the only sport where the players don't charge onto the fields. They just take their time. Everything is taking their time. They just kind of meander out. Shoelaces untied, they got a big gulp, smoking a cigarette. And you're like, all right, I guess we're gonna start. And they're like, nah, we're gonna play catch for about 5 minutes. While you guys wait, we're gonna throw some grounders, play a little catch. Matter of fact, we're gonna do it every time we switch sides. Catch starts again. So you watch that, and then you're like, all right, I guess now we're finally gonna start. No. Now we're gonna watch a guy in a magic white circle practice swinging a bat. He's been swinging it since he was this big, but he's like, how's this go again? Like, huh? Like that? True? And then finally he steps up to the plate and you're like, all right, now we're gonna go. And after 10 seconds, he's like, time out. I just need a couple more. I haven't quite, this. And then he finally digs in and now we're gonna go. No, we're not. Now the pitcher and the catcher, they got a little game they like to play. Where the pitcher looks at the catcher and he goes, guess which pitch I'm gonna throw? No, that's not it. Guess again. No, warmer. No, now all these people. Who gives a shit? Keep guessing. Finally, he gets it right. The guy throws the pitch. Batter doesn't swing. Whole thing starts all over again. Bullshit. Get rid of the catcher. Get a bucket of balls and just start whipping balls at the guy. Not next to him. What is that? Throw it at him. If you can hit him, he's out. That's the rule. Now he's gonna swing at every pitch just to defend himself. And no more resting on each base. Oh, I'm safe on the bag. No, what are you, 7? Keep running. You keep running until you're tackled by a guy from the other team who's carrying the ball. And a bat. Every player should keep a bat in their hand throughout the game. I want to see 18 guys jacked up on steroids, frothing at the mouth, swinging bats at each other. That I would watch every night.
I'm falling apart, and I know what it's from. It's from Little Debbie zebra rolls. I've ruined my body by eating a mass-produced snack cake. That's the decision I've made. But they're amazing. They're so good, and some of you might be thinking, oh, I love Little Debbie zebra cakes. Not what I said. You can shove the cakes up your ass. Figuratively, of course, because they're hexagons. Can't shove a hexagon up your ass, and if you can, you're doing Kegels wrong. In my opinion, Little Debbie zebra cakes, it's not enough cake and it's way too much frosting. And the frosting is plasticky, so it gums up on the roof of your mouth, and you have to try to scrape it off with the back of your tongue. That makes you look like an idiot, because that's how they made animals talk in the movies. Where's your mom? We'll find her. But what Little Debbie has done is she's taken this cake, which is a great idea in theory, and she's turned it into a roll. She's streamlined it to the perfect ratio of both cake and frosting. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if Little Debbie's a real person or not, but if she is, she's a It's a tough word to say when you're at half capacity already. Right? Because I know I'm going to lose people when I say that word. And by people, I mean white ladies, and that's fine. And also men sitting next to white ladies. that now have a "Don't you dare laugh" pinch mark on their inner thigh, right? It's like, I'm sorry. I know you told me before we left. Have you ever had Little Debbie zebra rolls? You haven't? Well, welcome to tomorrow. You're diabetic? Yeah, me too. My foot hurts. I would rather hop on one foot for the rest of my life than give up Little Debbie zebra rolls. They're even perfect for the pandemic because you don't have to really grab them that much. You have to get it to your mouth, and as soon as you do, you can just flat palm that and shove it in like a wood chipper. You don't even have to chew it if you don't want. It's the same shape as your throat. You can just shove it in. And if one gets stuck, unwrap another one, knock it loose. It's like you're putting batteries in a flashlight. It's incredible.
Having a disability it's interesting because people always want to help me with stuff. And that's so kind. I do appreciate it. But here's the deal. For the most part, I got it, you know? Another thing about me is I'm not afraid to ask you for help. Like, I know my limits. Like, let's say there's a pot of hot soup that needs to be carried. I'm like, hey, please, you know, thank you. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. But what I've come to find is that more often than not, people are like, hey, can I pour that for you? And then they spill it, and I'm like, well, I could have done it. And you robbed me of my independence. That's actually the funny part, guys. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, this right arm, he's a busy boy over there. Very, very busy appendage, for sure. It's like living with a raccoon or something. Nice. Yeah, the sun goes down, he got some shit to do. He's over there scurrying around. I still don't even know where he got the watch. Yeah, the little won't let me look at it either. Like at night, I'm trying to sleep, and this thing is just up, you know, just writing emails. You know. I'm like, who could you possibly be writing to? Probably some clubfoot in Kansas. You know. That's a pretty hard correspondent right there. I can't imagine a clubfoot types too well. I don't know why I say this, man. I don't. I've been doing comedy pretty much my whole adult life. I did have one day job out of college. I worked for 6 months at a day program, which is basically a daycare for adults with severe mental and physical disabilities. And, you know, I really have had so much help in my life. So my thought was like, let me go back in the world and give some of that back. And I worked there for 6 months, and that is because I couldn't take anymore. And now let's just be clear about this situation. Had nothing to do with the people that came in for the services. The problem is, every morning they would come into the facility on the short bus. And I gotta tell you, there was nothing that I could do to convince the driver that I worked there. I go, all right, man, thanks. I got it from here. Okay, buddy. Who's a good helper? Who's a good helper? You're a good helper. Why don't you go inside? Go get a person. I'm like, I'll break your wrist, sir. All my new coworkers just looking out the window, laughing their ass off. Send them out again. 6 months of that shit. I snapped one morning. I picked up a helmet and I put it on and I got on the dude's bus. I was like, take me home. I'm done here, I'm done. And now I do comedy.
I celebrate the differences between Jews and non-Jews. If you don't think there are differences, you're out of your mind. There are. If you don't believe me, go to Home Depot. Go to Home Depot. Home Depot is a code. It means Jews, you have no business shopping in here. Everyone that's not Jewish walks in there, they know exactly what they need. I need a 3x2 bipipe with reversible threading and a drip clamp and the guy's gone. Jews walk into Home Depot, they look constipated. And then a half hour, does anybody work here? Does anybody work here out of pity, out of Rachmanis? They come over to help us. What are you looking for there, Jew? And we have no idea what the stuff's even called. I'm looking for the thing that goes inside. It's the piece that goes in before you put the other, you screw in the piece that's in. Oh, an anchor, that's it, an anchor. Beth, it's called an anchor. Yes, my neighbor, the guy, is gonna help me put shelves up, which is one of the nicest ways to use the word guy.
Here's the thing. I love that kid so much. I really do. But at the same time, and I'm 100% sincere when I say this, I also resent her. I really do. Because she's rich. She's a rich kid, and I know it's not right. I know it's a leftover hangover prejudice I had since I was a kid. I grew up really poor, and I was always suspicious of rich people. I didn't get it. I didn't like it, and I just didn't like rich people. I still don't, you know. And I'm rich, you know. I mean, I'm not rich. I pay my taxes, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, and.
Saddest song in the world is Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett. But not Margaritaville as it was written. You got to think about what Margaritaville is now. Because now Margaritaville isn't a fictional location where some made up, relaxed dude like, I guess I screwed things up, whatever, que sera. Ooh, thatched roofed huts, white sand beach, I'll get over it. No. Margaritaville now that you know it's a real brick and mortar restaurant that sits in the parking lots of shopping malls throughout the country. If you listen to the lyrics of that song, but that's the setting, that's the darkest shit you've ever heard in your life.
Not some fictional island that's in the Caribbean. How do we get to it? Stolen jet boat? Maybe one of them airplanes that has hot dog buns instead of wheels, so it can cruise right up onto the beach. No, Margaritaville number 218, St. Paul, Minnesota. Let's say early February. It's the tail end of a lunch rush. It's a community college dropout behind the bar just wiping off laminate menus. And there's a man sitting at the bar by himself, openly weeping into a basket of coconut shrimp. Some people say that's a woman to blame. But I know. This is my own damn fault. Hey, Terry, you want to get your together? There's families in here right now, bud. I get that you're a bit broken up, but we can't be like this. My assistant manager's here, and you're looking real overserved right now, all right? I can box this up, and you could eat it in your van, but I can't have this. That's a Pee-wee soccer team in the back room, all right? Let's get it together, okay? Can I get you anything else? I'm just looking for my lost shaker of salt. There's one on every table. What the f*** does that even mean, man? Why are you wearing up flip-flops? It's freezing outside. So Payless shoes across the parking lot. I'll give you the money for boots. That joke will be even better when I learn more lyrics to Margaritaville.
I now feel if you want to feel generally positive about the current state of the United States of America on a global cultural scale, what you need to do is you need to watch 90 Day Fiancé on TLC, because you watch that shit and you realize America must be doing something right, dude. Because people all around this world are lining up, doing whatever it takes, throwing it all away just for the chance to make it somewhere in the Midwest. They don't give a where they end up, dude. They'll do anything, up to and including marrying the biggest jabroni in the state of Ohio, gladly. They'll interview this guy on there. He's like, yeah, my name's Jason. I'm a 35-year-old dodgeball coach. And ever since my mom kicked me out, I've been looking for Miss Right, you know, like the type of woman that knows how to load the dishwasher and keep her mouth shut during Buckeyes games, that type of thing, right? And you're listening like, I don't like your chances, Jason. You don't seem like much of a catch to me. Then they cut to some beautiful girl in Estonia or somewhere like that, just like, Jason is man of my dreams. I often fantasize about being with him and eating hamburger helper off of paper plate.
They got no choice. My parents left Iraq with nothing. They had nothing. And they came to this amazing country because they wanted to be free and they wanted to pursue their American dream. Yeah. And that dream was to open a liquor store. Let's go! That's the immigrant American dream. They escape poverty and persecution so they can sell American people vapes. And alcohol and cigarettes. All things that can hurt them. Yeah, that ain't terrorism, they're paying for it. Oh. Our store was in the hood. That wasn't even the worst part. It was right across the street from a Rite Aid. Rite Aid's a huge convenience store. The thing that sucked about that is that people usually drive by my mom's store and go there because they got more items. Things are a little bit cheaper, right? And that's why I want to say this right now, Detroit. This is a working class town. It is. When y'all get the opportunity, remember to support these mom and pop businesses. Yeah. And listen, I get it. I know their beer is expired. And they're still selling Obama shirts. But we gotta support them, man. You know? My mom fought hard. She didn't want Rite Aid to win. So she had to carry extra items, even some items Rite Aid didn't have, so she can compete with them, right? Like you go to a normal store, they might have like beer, wine, chips, cigarettes, lotto. My mom's store, she had beer, wine, chips, cigarettes, lotto, shirts, shoes, speakers, baby formula, insurance, cell phones, pizza, ice cream, fireworks, crack pipes, my dad's jacket. You name it. We had everything. Customers would be hella confused. They'll be like, bro, where are the Doritos? I'm like, did you check behind the hot tubs? See, you in the wedding dress section. What you need to do. My mom was a G, bro. She used to buy a bunch of items from Pakistan, and she used to sell them at the store. But the thing is, they would just name the items after what the product was. So we used to sell shampoo brand shampoo. Yo, the logo was just a squiggly line. Customers would be like, what is this? I'm like, that's Kirkland's actual signature. Yo, we used to sell shirts that just said shirt. And condom brand condoms that didn't work. People kept having children. Our number one selling item were Lucy's. Yeah, what up, Detroit? Lucy's are a staple, man. Unfortunately, Lucy's are actually illegal. It's illegal to sell a loose cigarette. If a cop catches you selling a loose cigarette, not only can they take away your cigarette license, they can put you in jail for doing that. And my mom did that shit anyway. She was trying to provide for her family. This was bigger than the law. My mom also sold 2 cartons of loose cigarettes a day. She did, I know. That's $200 a day, $1,400 a week, $5,600 a month. Loose cigarettes paid for me and my brothers to go to college. Yeah. My education was sponsored by Newport 100s. Hey, I paid for my tuition in quarters.
I'll just get this out of the way. I am aware of my accent as well. I don't need you guys just staring at me, being like, where's it come from? Because that happens every show I do. The first 5 minutes, they won't let me be a person with thoughts. It's just a guessing game. They're like, is it Texas? No. Mississippi? I'm like, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. I just tell them, Tennessee. I'm from Tennessee. Every time I'm like, oh, you like a redneck? I'm like, absolutely not. It's highly offensive what you just said. Then they're like, you like a hillbilly? I relate. But if you meet an actual hillbilly, you have made a terrible mistake. You need to get off their property. They don't like that. That's like their only rule. Get! Oh, he said get with an I. Go. I get it. They also want to know, too, like, especially people who've never been to the South, fascinated, like, what's the South really like? What's it really like? I'm like, well, it's probably like 8 or 10 of the coolest cities, full of the coolest people, very just unique and just a meld of different human beings and cultures. It's amazing, and the rest of it is exactly what you've heard. But more intense than you can imagine. And then they're always like, well, what's the worst part of the South? I'm like, Alabama, before you finish that question. You guys know, all right. And they're always, every time though, they're always like, well, what about Mississippi? I'm like, that's not their fault. Historically, the worst education system in our country since the start. They don't know any better. In Alabama, they know better. They just don't give a shit. That got applause in Birmingham. It's not what I was going for. I was trying to shame them. And they were like, that's us. Yeah. Roll Tide. I know how the accent sounds. I'm aware. It sounds dumb. I get it. It's a scam we're all running. People think we're way dumber than we actually are. It's the opposite of the British accent. Think about it. Yeah, they sound smart, but if you listen, you're like, oh, you're dumb as hell. I get it. There's certain words I shouldn't say. Makes people uncomfortable. Like, my wife is Jewish. Just saying that, people are like, hey, easy. Careful. I'm like, what? I married a Jew. People are like, I know you can't say that. Like, you can't say that. We just had a baby. I made a Jew. People are like, I gotta get out of here. He's trying to get people fired. Don't go over there. I did. I made a Jew, you guys. You can applaud. That's cool. It would have been weird if you kind of applauded and then didn't. You guys came through. I didn't know growing up I could make a Jew. I didn't know. But I can, and I did. Pretty cool. What happened was my wife is Jewish, and her vagina also Jewish. And the baby came out of there, Jew. It's science. And religion, I think. I don't understand. It's confusing. I don't ask a lot of questions. But he's got blonde hair and blue eyes. I Nazi-proof that son of a bitch. You can laugh out loud. That's a good thing I did. You guys can enjoy yourself here at the comedy show. Feel free. That joke 3 or 4 years ago was just historically funny, and then it got relevant again. I'm just saying, I did not see them making a comeback. I didn't. Fascinating. 3 or 4 years ago, people laughed and like, that's funny. Now people laugh and like, that's good you did that. I get this question a lot because I sound like I do and then I say the stuff I do. How'd you get that way? It's confusing. You sound, like you sound, but the stuff you say is not from where you're from. Like, I had to evaluate it, and it's like, I think it's because my parents are pretty cool people. Like, my dad's a football coach and teacher. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I called him before he retired like a couple years ago. I was like, hey man, what do you do during the day? He's like, you need to mind your own business is what you need to do. Yes sir, coach. My mom's an English teacher and a maniac. That's what she does. Sure, her name is Storm. Yeah, that's weird, right? I was in my 20s before I was like, that is weird. Because when you're little, you're just like, I guess everyone's mom's named after an American gladiator. That's how it is. That's Steven's mom, Laser. I lived in Seattle for a while, and they came to visit my parents. And there's a WNBA team there named the Seattle Storm. And I was like, is there anything you guys want to do while you're here? Like anything special? And my mom was like, I want to go see that Seattle Storm play. And I was like, why? She's like, because their name's I Hate You So Much. Smart ass. I was like, professional smart ass. I had no interest in going in the game, and my dad was like, I like fundamental basketball. You gotta listen to him, he's kind of mean. So I got them tickets, they went to the game, they came back. My dad walked past me like nothing happened. I was like, hey Mom, what's going on? How was the game? It was great, I think I might be homophobic. What happened at the game? She's like, well, they were great seats. Thank you so much. We're down close, and action started happening. We were having fun, and then there was like a timeout, and then there were a lot of lesbians there. I was like, you don't have to whisper that word. That's their preferred word. She said, okay. Well, there are a lot of, I can't not whisper it. I don't know why. I was like, okay, there are a lot of lesbians there, Mom, yeah. And she was like, yeah, and then when there's the timeout, they'd all start making out and like their tongues going everywhere. I was like, oh, I don't like this. I was like, huh. Well, if there had been a bunch of straight couples there making out during the timeout, would that have bothered you? Yes. Stop making me see your tongue in public. I don't like that. I'm like, oh, Mom, you don't like public displays of affection, PDA. You're not homophobic. And she was like, oh, thank God. It's in there. I didn't like it, but it was in there, you know? And that was the moment where I was like, oh, this is how I am the way I am. Because my neurotic mother, my whole life, has been like, have you worried about something that doesn't exist and can't happen yet? She go worry about that.
Living in Philadelphia means I have mice in my home. It comes with the deed. And on the lease, it's my wife and I and 17 mice. You're gonna roll your eyes at this, but my wife and I were animal lovers. So we don't have the traps that kill the mice. Thank you. But we have the traps that trap the mice, and then you drive them 7.5 miles away because apparently someone drove them 7 and they came back. One of the most degrading trial and error situations, I would imagine. So you rehome them. You rehome the mice. That's what you do. And it's weird. I've been working my entire life to become a professional stand-up comedian, and now it turns out I'm just an Uber for varmints. That's what I put on my taxes. Uber for varmints. I have 20,000 dependents spread throughout the city. They say it's the humane thing to do, though, not to kill them. What they don't tell you is how weird you look when you drive into a random neighborhood, get out of your car, and then just release mice into it. Be free! I did the other day while a school was getting out, and this little girl turns to her dad, and she goes, oh my God, Daddy, is that a wizard? Because no, he's more of a male witch if you get to know him, actually. That's more of his vibe. I've been going down to this place called the Jersey Shore a lot since I moved back to the East Coast. If you don't know what it is, it's like the beach where people from Philly and New York go. And there's a place in particular that I've been going. It's called Ocean City, New Jersey. And yes. And I've been going, like, that's going to have to be cut out, what I just did. We can't have it. Oh. they blur it out, you know, it's so humiliating. Like, oh! My apologies to the editor of this special. I apologize. So I've been going down to Ocean City, New Jersey a lot, and they had this issue where this is a real thing. Seagulls were dive bombing people on the boardwalk, and they were knocking food out of their hands and knocking hats off ladies' heads. So the local government in Ocean City, New Jersey, their solution to this, after much deliberation, was to hire a birds of prey company to release hawks into the air to go to war with the seabirds? What the f***? That was your solution? And one of my favorite things to witness in life is this thing that I call the I f***ed up at work walk, where you messed up at your job and you have to tell your boss, and you're not going to get fired, but he's going to be a real piece of about it. So you're kind of just trudging, you know, like you're bummed out. And I saw a guy doing that on the boardwalk, and I will paint a colorful description as to what this man looked like. In his one hand, he had a little hood. How little? You might be wondering. A hood so little it would fit perfectly on a hawk's head. And on his other hand, he had a big, scary, thick leather glove going up to his shoulder. And this next part, I feel like I actually don't have to say because you're probably already picturing it in your head, but just in case I'm missing some people, long gray ponytail down his back. You saw it? We saw it. We all saw it. And this guy's trudging. And he goes up to his boss, who looked exactly like him, except his long gray ponytail was like 6 inches longer, you know, to show rank. Excuse me. And our first guy, he goes up to his boss and goes, "I messed up!" And his boss goes, "What happened?" And he goes, "I lost the bird!" And his boss goes, "How do you lose a bird?" And I go, "May I interject?" It's a bird. I would imagine, is it the wings? Did it use its wings? Its God-given wings? Oh, okay, it flew away, you idiot. That's how. I'm not a business expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I would imagine part of the risk assessment when you open up a hawk company some of them are gonna fly away. They're gonna fly away. Hey, you lose a bird. Oh my God, it hit me over the head with a fish, stole my iPhone, hailed an Uber, and drove away.
When Monroe was 2, she did something that I will never forget. She did something that will make me afraid of what she's capable of for the rest of her life. She was 2, she was really into binkies. Like really into binkies. And if you don't know what a binky is just a pacifier. But really it's baby smoke. Like a baby vape pen. That's a good analogy, you know, if you've seen a kid who really needs binkies, or if you've, seen somebody who's like a chain smoker. It's the same kind of personality. You know, like if they don't have their drug, they get really just tense, really just, negative, pessimistic. And like with the smoker, they first get that hit if they had no cigarettes for like 8 hours, they get real relaxed, positive, way cooler to be around. Same with the kid who needs a binky. No binky, she was just, really frustrating. Just like, no, I'm not tired! No, I'm not tired! No! Sorry about that, I'm gonna go lay down. Just so easy with the binky. And she was super into binkies when she was 2. To go to bed at night, she had to have a binky in her mouth, 1 in each hand, 10 to 15 more binkies scattered around the crib. So she could sleep in a binky paradise, and if she let go of one, she could flail around and hit one before she really got going, And they expected that level of junkie to go cold turkey in 1 day. It's an unreasonable premise. About 2 weeks after the band, they started catching her with binkies. She was sneaking them in. And I love how they caught her. She kept going to the same corner of the daycare, this one like dark corner. They noticed like an hour in, she'd walk over there. She'd use her body as a shield, take the binky out of her pocket, take a couple hits, put it back. Hey guys, just checking out the corner. Might want to dust it eventually. Their response cracked me up. Their response was to start patting her down on her way into daycare. Like she's a tiny felon trying to get a shiv into the reading room. So then her pop-pop, her grandpa, her mom's dad, he got embarrassed about this. He didn't like her getting patted down. And so he starts patting her down at home so she can't bring a binky from the house. And for a while, there's like a 2 pat-down period. For a week or 2, she was getting patted down at home and at daycare. During that little window, she still snuck in the binky. And it's crazy how she did this. We figured out how she did it. Just the planning and manipulation that went into this at 2 years old. She knew that Pop-Pop always, got her dressed for school or daycare at the same location by the front door. So she knew that, so she hid a binky by the front door, let Pop-Pop get her dressed, and then she would cup the binky in her hand, and then give Pop-Pop like a fake hug. Just, hug Pop-Pop! Hug Pop-Pop! She wasn't trying to hug him because she was being extra affectionate. She needed to get close. So she could drop the binky into his front shirt pocket, and then let him unknowingly transport it to daycare. Just an accessory in a little daycare felony. She would let Pop-Pop get the contraband through customs, right, as she got patted down a second time, and then be like, hug Pop-Pop, hug Pop-Pop. Then cup the binky, take it back out of, his pocket, put it back into her pocket, and then just walk in like a champion. Incredible. After all that, they still took the binky, which I felt like was the wrong message. If I'm working at daycare, she keeps it. Firstly, out of respect for what she's already accomplished. And second, out of fear of what she may do next.
It's an exciting time having a kid. A lot of people are excited to ask you questions like, oh my God, do you know what you're having? Do you know what you're having? I'm like, yeah, financial burden. Oh my God, it's insane. Like, I read that by the time a kid is 18, they'll cost you $1 million. Now, Lucy and I did the budget. We got to cut him off at 4. We're not getting that far. Like, I don't know if I can provide for him. Here's what I think, right? If you ever read an autobiography of a great person in history, it always starts the same. Like, we didn't have much growing up. That's what I can provide for him. A rags to riches story. Some adversity. It's crazy expensive, even a babysitter. Some of them are $40 an hour. You go out for 4 hours, that's $160. That's insane, right? I'm trying to be thrifty. I'm looking up return flights to Adelaide, $70 on Jetstar. Perfect. I'll put him on the plane, have our night out, pick him up on the way through. He gets frequent flyer miles. That's his inheritance. That's how you got to do it. There's a lot of pressure on pregnant women as well. When Lucy was pregnant, all her girlfriends asked, babe, when you're in labour, are you going to have the epidural or are you going to have a natural birth? No, don't you want to have a natural birth? Like, ladies, if you want to have one, power to you, but don't put pressure on other women. You don't find out someone's going to the dentist and go, oh, you're going to have the painkillers or you're going to have a natural root canal? No, don't you want to feel connected to your tooth? Don't you want the full root canal experience? My wife requested the epidural the day she found out she was pregnant. She's like, you plug that thing in, leave it in there till he graduates high school. I want to buzz the whole way through. People give you advice as well. All my male friends, my proper, men friends, gave me a lot of man advice. They couldn't even say pregnancy terms, by the way. They couldn't say pregnant or labour or birth. They had to use man terms like, oh, so I heard Lucy's up the duff. She must be in the drop zone. How long till launch? Hey, we're not working on a spaceship. But their advice was like, mate, your responsibility as a dad is just to work. Work all day, every day, for the rest of your life. If you never see your family, that's ideal. I'm like, oh my God. My cool inner city hippie friends are the opposite. Like, just so wild about it. They're like, oh my God, Simon, birth's amazing. Have you got enough crystals? I'm like, yeah, I got enough crystals. How many? None. I think that's enough. No, birth's amazing. You got to get right up in there. It's so beautiful. You know what you should do? You know what would be amazing? You, when the baby's born, you should eat the placenta. I'm like, wait, why would I eat the placenta? It's full of nutrients. I'll have a muesli bar. I'm a vegetarian. I'm not going to get back into eating meat starting with a placenta. I'm going to try fish and work my way up to cannibalism. Let's all calm down.
We're the most tolerant nation. We are the only religion not recruiting. Think about that for a minute. Every other religion believes you have to join them or you don't get the world to come. The only thing we want is just leave us the hell alone. Just leave us the hell alone. Go do whatever you gotta do. Just leave us the hell alone. Think about it. Think about it. You want to become Christian or Catholic. You go to the church, the cathedral, speak to the priest, the father, whoever's not potchking with the kinderlach that day. You say to him, I want to become a Christian. In 2 seconds, oh, he died for your sins. He loves you. He's a cookie you wouldn't give your dog. And you're in. You want to become a Muslim? Even easier. You go to a mosque or a prison. And you say to the imam, I want to become a Muslim. In 2 seconds, and you're in. You're in. Want to become a Jew? Go to a rabbi. Hey, rabbi, I want to become a Jew. What's the first thing he says? No, you don't. The chutzpah to tell the guy, no, you don't. But they come again, really, rabbi, I want to become a Jew. It's not for you. And if they really, really, really want to become Jewish, they have to spend a whole year almost keeping the Sabbath. Like most of you. So I had an idea. If you want to become Jewish, it should be easier but harder. If you want to become Jewish, the only thing you have to do is fly. Fly from New York to Tel Aviv. And Tel Aviv back to New York. With 5 conditions. El Al. Israeli airline. Afternoon flight. Middle seat. No sleeping pill. Economy. Imagine what this poor soul will have to experience. On one side, some massive Israeli with hair coming out of everywhere. How you are, how you are. How are you, are you are. איך אומרים את זה? How you say, how are you are. How are you are. Or maybe you get a full-blown chassid that comes, the full outfit comes over to you. Hello. My name is Moshe Aaron Shleimi de Komisha Maloni. And for the next 12 hours, the only thing I'm gonna do is fakrazel mapayas. I'm gonna fakrazel mapayas for 12 hours straight. Just look like this, put a lot behind my ear. You're gonna think I stopped, but then I'm gonna fakrazel some more and fakrazel around my payas, and you're gonna wanna not look, but you can't not look. When they fakrazel their payas, it's mesmerizing. You fly back and forth and tell me you still want to be Jewish, I'll sign off on the paperwork.
You could be any witness that you want to be. I started doing comedy in Ohio when I first started. My friends and I, you're always a broke person as a comedian, looking for ways to make money. Well, my one friend told me about this thing where you can sue somebody on court television, and the court show actually pays whoever wins, and it doesn't go on anybody's record. So we started just making up cases to sue each other, and then just split the money and make sure the plaintiff wins. I was a witness on Judge Alex. My team won, and I'm glad we won because I needed the money at the time.
Man, I'm just glad we got this money. I needed the money so bad. I'm broke. I have like 3 frozen hamburgers at home. I can't afford to buy toothpaste.
You could be any plaintiff that you want to be. I was on Judge Joe Brown as a plaintiff. You can be any defendant that you want to be. I was on Judge Alex again as a defendant. I went a few years later. I used my middle name to slip past the producers. And this one I played a promoter. I was supposed to promote my friend's Battle of the Beards contest, and I kind of just blew him off and didn't do anything. And when I got to court, I really didn't have much of a defense at all either. And Judge Alex was not impressed with me.
To me, I just think communication was failed.
Communication was failed?
I agree.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I just think it was just a misunderstanding, and I don't understand why it's got to be like this.
How much weed do you smoke?
You could be any journalist that you want to be. This is a company called Monet. They're a multi-level marketing company, aka a pyramid scheme, where the only people who make money that work for them are the people at the top of the pyramid, all the executives. Everyone else just ends up wasting a bunch of time or losing money, actually. In addition to being one of these companies, they're also been known for making people lose their hair. Yeah, they have like skin products that were making people lose their hair. So I emailed them and pretended to be a reporter from a newspaper I made up called the Coloradoan Times. Signed, my name is Jackie Jones. I emailed them a meme I made of their CEO. I photoshopped him bald and said, if you like the Vin Diesel look, you should try our hair products because they'll make you bald. They wrote back and said, it's absolutely, unequivocally not from their CEO. So I said, okay, we'll make note that he didn't say anything about Vin Diesel. However, we do have something Vin Diesel said about him. I said, we can share that with you too before we run our story. They're like, yes, we absolutely want to see that story and quote before you run it. So I was like, okay, yes, this is directly from Vin's reps. I've relied on Monat to keep me bald for years. So after this email, the next email I got was from their lawyers. And they sent me a multi-page demand letter. It mentioned Vin Diesel like 6 times. And they said that you can tell it's not their CEO by a simple Google search. They said if Jackie or the Coloradoan Times publishes this, they'll take swift legal action. And then they gave me a deadline to confirm that I won't publish this. And then they said if you have any questions or want to address this issue further, please contact us or have your attorney do so. So I had my attorney do so. I wrote them and said, on January 28th, 2021, you threatened to take swift legal action. I'm reaching out to inform you that if you take any legal action against Jackie or the Coloradoan Times, even just a tiny hair of legal action, I'll respond by photoshopping every Monad executive bald. These photos will be posted on the internet and made easily accessible by a simple Google search. In addition, I'll get in touch with every bald celebrity to ask them if they'd be interested in promoting Monat, and that list includes, but is not limited to, Pitbull, Charles Barkley, Samuel L. Jackson, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Larry David, Seal, Terry Crews, and the Dalai Lama. You have until Friday, January 29th, 2021 at 8:59 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to read this email. That time has already passed. If you have any questions or wish to address this issue further, please do not hesitate to contact a Jones. Sincerely, Jackie Jones. Jones, Jones & Jones, LLC, attorneys at law. You mess with Jones, you get the Jones. So I shared this online, and someone saw it, I guess, and then they sent me a link to a Zoom party that all of the executives, all the people at the top of the pyramid at Monat were having together. So I joined as Trae Angle. And it got a little awkward in there.
And I see one face I don't recognize. Who is Mr. Angle?
Hey, I'm Trae.
And they removed Trae from the meeting. So I tried rejoining. I changed my name really quick and tried to rejoin, and they let me back in. So I was able to say,
You mess with the Jones, you get the Jones.
you could be anything.
I had this one class, grade 5s. I hated this one kid. Man, I felt like hitting him. You're not allowed, though. That's not allowed. It's frustrating, because it used to be allowed. Sometimes I think teachers should seriously, the way kids are today, they should get a one-hit pass at the beginning of the year. You get to use it once, one hit. That way, before kids will swear at you, they'll think, I wonder if he's used his pass yet this year, before I act like a moron. Then if you don't use them one year, you get to collect them like sick days at the end of your career. You can walk around whacking kids when you're 65. Don't go near him, man. He's nuts. He's got 35 hits left. Don't go near him. Ridiculous. You can't hit him. Billy was just hated this kid. Then I realized one day, you know what? There's nothing that says you can't hit him if you play dodgeball with him. That was the best thing I ever figured out in all my years of teaching. Every day we would play dodgeball. I'd use tennis balls too to speed it up a little bit. Sometimes I'd keep them in the staff room fridge in case it got hot. And I would pick teams. I'd be like, all right, playing dodgeball again. So we play this every day. Yeah, well, you're a every day, Billy, so. And I would pick teams, right? And I'd always try to be unbiased, but it was, okay, Billy, you're on that side. Yeah, face the wall over there. Good luck today, okay? And I'm gonna go on this side. I'm gonna be on this team. I'll be the captain, because I'm the best player. And the rest of you go wherever the hell you want. I don't even care if you stay in the gym. You go home for all I care. We don't need witnesses for this game of dodgeball. And I'd always look for the good tennis balls, the ones where the fuzz were all shaved off. Remember those? Those were the best, because you could hear the leather when it hit them. Oh! I got you right in the face, Billy. Wow! Where are you going, Billy? You know you're not out. No, it's above the neck. You're okay. Come on back. Yeah. You're still alive.
Clap if you have kids. Okay, now clap if you don't have kids. Okay, you don't have to celebrate that you don't have kids. I just wanted to know how many people didn't have kids. You don't have to. It's okay. I mean, it's a lot of fun tonight, but you're gonna die alone. But no, it's fine. It's okay. Whatever. Like, do whatever you want. No, we already blew it. But no, I have a 5-year-old, and he's great. But he's in that age. He have a lot of energy, and kids of that age, there's two ways to stop them. You know, morphine or the phone. You know, and you know that the phone is bad for them. You know that it's poison for their brains, but it's so effective. You know that if you give a kid a phone and you, I don't know, take a walk for 3 days, and you come back, he's gonna be in the same spot, and he's probably gonna learn how to fish or something, you know. But I know that it's bad for him. I know, but at the same time, you have to find a balance in life. You know, you know that every minute I have the phone, he's getting dumber and dumber, but you have to be okay with it. You know, it's like, well, he's not gonna learn math, but I'm gonna finish this movie. You can't have everything in life, you know. I don't like to give him the phone, but sometimes we have done it. We were at a restaurant the other night, and we were like, okay, 5 minutes. You can have the phone for 5 minutes. And of course, they go to the darkest places on the internet right away. I don't know how they do it, but you're like, okay, you can watch 5 minutes of Baby Shark. A minute later, he's watching a shark eating a baby. I don't know how. I was like, okay, let's try to have a conversation. Let's try to pretend we still love each other while he's checking this video. And a little lady from another table just came running. She's like, beep, 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 beep. And sit down right next to my boy and start watching this video. And her mom just came running, like very angry. She came running, just grabbed the girl, and she's like, no, we don't do that. And we were like, what the f*** is wrong with this woman? I know what we're doing is wrong, but like, don't say it out loud, you know? Don't judge your style of parenting in a restaurant, mother. Like, and I look at this woman's face, and she was like the Oscar-winning actress Anne Hathaway. And I was like, calm down. It's not the movie The Princess Diary. Of course, I didn't say that. I was like, thank you for looking me in the eye. Please insult me more. So stupid. I think kids of that age, they're so weird because they don't share any information about what's going on in their lives. You know, like in school specifically. Like every time I pick up my son from school, I'm like, hey, how was your day? And he's like, I don't remember. And it's like, how? I mean, you should remember everything. You're a kid. I just pick you up, and your brain is new. You have so much storage in your brain. But he's like, I don't remember. But the weirdest thing is, like, 3 hours later, he shared a piece of information about his day with no context. You know, we're doing something else. I don't know, we're having dinner. And he's suddenly like, Ryan cried. And it's like, what happened to Ryan? And he's like, I don't remember. So we think he killed Ryan. I think he's in a cult. That's all. That's what he's not sharing.
I think about having kids. I do. I'm 37. I could have kids. I think about it. Until literally every time I call my brother, who has 3 boys under the age of 12. Yeah. Every time I call him, 30 seconds into our phone call, his entire life turns into the back half of the film Point Break. We'll just be chatting along, and then out of nowhere, he's like, 1 second, what's in your hands? Show me those hands! One's on the roof, one's on the roof. Where'd you get a Nixon mask? That joke does better if you've seen Point Break. I think it's crazy how quickly in life we separate children on whether or not they have a chance at life. We do. You may be like, what do you mean? What I mean is reading groups. That's when there's 6 and we're like, split them up. These are the maybes and these are just keep them busy. But they don't say like which one's the smart group and which one's the dumb group. They're cute with it. They're like, you're the red group and you're the blue group. But even at 6, you know. You're like, shit. My group loves glue. We can't get enough of this stuff. We're doing like glue charcuterie, you know? Like, why don't you take the glue stick, dip it in some wet cement? Yeah, it freaking rocks, okay? Maybe we should read a little bit. And they're like, we would, but remember how last reading we glued all the books shut? Damn it. We did and it rocked. It was fun. I remember one time, our teacher went to split it up. She's like, red group over here, blue group over here. And my buddy was like, we're not the blue group, we're the glue group, right? And I was like, no. We shouldn't be proud of what we're doing. We should be ashamed. This story is just dedicated to the fallen brothers of the glue group. A lot of them aren't here anymore. Yeah, they blew up a lot of garages. Yep. They went out doing what they did best, guys. Just not reading instructions at all.
I try and be a real parent. Right? What I mean by that is try and be real. If I'm a little bit selfish during the birth of my child, I'll tell you, but I'm never going to claim to be perfect. I hate fake social media parenting. Make it seem like they're amazing parents. And what they do is they do this thing where they say things their kids have said. They post things that their kids have said. Oh my God, my son just said this and this is mental. And it's always some like socially conscious, woke point that this 3-year-old has made. And you know that 3-year-old didn't say it because you met that 3-year-old. And that 3-year-old is a fucking idiot. Last time I saw him, he was eating a pair of socks with a knife and fork and wearing potato waffles on his feet. So I don't know if he's making statements like that. You know what I'm talking about? It's parents who will say things their kids have said, so you think, oh, you've raised them so well. And then they blow up. These posts blow up. You know, some woman, you know, being like, was driving my daughter through Belfast earlier, and she said to me, Mummy, can I ask you something? And I said, darling, you can ask me anything. In brackets, that's a relationship we have. She said, Mummy, is that a man or a woman in the car beside our car? Is it a man or a woman? Because I'm not sure. And I said, yes. And she said, Mummy, thank you. I guess love is love. 12,000 likes. And you know it didn't happen, you know? Some guy being like, I was driving my son to school today and he said to me, Daddy, can I have more pocket money? And I said, come on, son. There's a cost of living crisis on. There are people less fortunate than us. You know, not everyone gets bought the very expensive gifts that I'm able to buy for you and your brothers and sisters. Why do you need more money? You should actually be thinking of ways to give your money away. And my son said, like all the charity work you do, Daddy. And I said, son, I do not like to go on about that. And my son said, but Daddy, did you not do that abseil down that hotel in 2002? With your bad back, that must have been so sore. I said, son, shush. I said, son, why do you need more pocket money anyway? And he said, well, Daddy, I don't think we should just stop at walking a mile in the shoes of asylum seekers. He said, Daddy, I need more money because I want to buy shoes for asylum seekers. Daddy, I want to buy a memory foam Skechers for a Syrian immigrant. That's what I want to do, Daddy. My wee man. He's 7 months old. You know that didn't happen because kids don't talk like that. My kids don't talk like that. If I tweeted and posted what my kid said, my 3-year-old, it would not go viral. It wouldn't change the world because he's not this like political-minded, woke guy. My 3-year-old just talks like a 3-year-old. I can't tweet this. My son said to me recently, I was driving him in the car. My son said, Daddy, can I ask you something? I said, yeah, mate, what do you want to know? He said, Daddy, being serious, do you think anyone has ever pricked their nose so hard that they died? I said, I don't know, we're looking that up. Let me tell you, we're looking that up when we get home. That is a cracker. Imagine. My wee man. You want to learn them stuff as well? Want to be a good teacher for my son, but you don't always know the answer straight away. I was driving my son recently. My son said, Daddy, can I ask you something? He's 3. I said, what do you want to know, mate? You ask me anything, I'll tell you the answer. He said, Daddy, see all the seas in the world? Is that all one sea, Daddy, or is it all wee different seas? I said, what? 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 Hell. What do you mean? Is it? What do you? Do you mean like is all the different seas I tell you about, like on the wee map we have, like I show you them, like the Atlantic Sea, the Irish Sea, and the Mediterranean? I said, do you mean are they all like separate, like individual bodies of water, or is it all like all joined up seas? He said, yeah, Daddy, are they all different or is it all joined up? I said, I'm in the hard shoulder with the hazards on, right? I said, well, they have different names, so there would be different. We'll ask your mummy when we get home. We'll have a laugh for her trying to explain it. She won't know. Some adults wouldn't know that, and you should think about that because some adults don't. Shut up. And he started asking me more stuff, so I obviously I just put all the back windows down, sped up, because if you're on the motorway once you hit 70, it goes in his wee ears, and he's so, Daddy Meardre. So I said, well, stop being weird. Like you guys know the answer. Yeah, it's a big giant sea. All joined up. Wouldn't be possible.
One kid smoked pot every day. Unbelievable. Pot. This kid would smoke it every morning, 9 o'clock, first period. Walk in stoned every day like I'm stupid. I can't tell you're stoned, it's 12th grade. You stick out like a sore thumb. Teachers aren't idiots. Then I thought about it. I think the only grade that kids could have smoked up before class and walked in without getting caught was kindergarten. That's the only grade. Think about it. You could have smoked up all you want before kindergarten. Stormed into class. No one would know. It took everybody an hour and a half to get their coat and boots off. You smoke up all you want. You'll be taking forever to get your boots off. So would everybody else. You'd be like, God, everybody's smoked up today. Look at this. Who's the dealer? Imagine being stoned at the age of 4. That would be hilarious. Trying to get that piece of crap $8 snowsuit off. Remember this thing from Kmart? Had one zipper. Started at your forehead. Couldn't breathe for the first 3 minutes of the day. Got stuck 15 times. You're stoned out of your mind, walking around going, God, it's hot. It's hot. It's June. Why am I wearing a snowsuit? This pot is screwing up my ability to recognize the seasons. What kind of crap zipper was that? One zipper. When only the left leg came out, remember? It started up here, wrapped around a couple times, in case it wasn't on tight enough, we'll wrap it up. And then only the left leg, that's how it was made. People making it were like, let the little potheads figure it out. We don't need 2 zippers. So you're stoned out of your mind and you can't get it off. You're like, I can't get the right leg out. And you're dragging around your snowsuit. You think it's a dead body because of the pot. You're like, well, there's a dead body. You're getting tired. That's a great grade to be stoned. Miss, I'm tired. When's our nap? Oh. Did I miss snack time? I'm starving. I'm so hungry.
So it's great. What can I say, man? I'm a relic, you know? I drink milk. I still drink milk. You know? And people judge me for it, but I'm from the generation where milk was healthy, you know? Milk, it does a body good. Pass it on. How's that go? Build your bones so you can grow. Milk's got calcium, don't you know? It does. Well, that shit never leaves you. And I know that there's vegans here, and I'm very supportive of vegans. I'm not one of these people who's critical of a vegan lifestyle. I think it's great. I think it's actually quite noble, but I sing that and it never left my head, and vegans go, oh, well, that was Dairy Council propaganda. That was milk propaganda that they fed to you, and milk is not healthy. So much so that now people actually think that milk is unhealthy, and when I go for a latte in the Lower East Side, and I say, can I have a latte? They say, oh, what type of milk would you like? And I'm like, really? I have to say what type of milk when I just want regular milk? It literally says dairy alternatives on your screen, but I don't want the alternative, so I thought you would just assume that I want regular milk. Unless I didn't want regular milk, then I would tell you what other milk I want. So I say, oh, regular milk. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, am I sure? Am I resetting my iPhone here? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what I want. You know, so then I posted that bit online. I actually posted that bit online I just did before, and the vegans were the aggressive vegans. Not all vegans are aggressive, but there's a militant wing of veganism, and they were hot in my fucking comments, and 50% of them said, we're the only mammals that drink the milk of other mammals. We're the only mammals that still drink milk after we've been weaned. And I'm like, oh, you think that's gonna turn me off milk? You're comparing us to other mammals? There's a lot of other we're the only mammals that do it. You know, like cooking, fire, and Taco Tuesday, and colonoscopies. And Tylenol.
Been reading a lot of children's books. I don't know the last time you've read the Curious George books. Very disturbing. Let me remind you, right? So there's a man in a yellow hat, right? And he steals this monkey from Africa. Where in Africa? Oh, just Africa. You know, Africa City, Africa, all right? And steals this monkey, brings it back to America. To put in a zoo or a sanctuary? No, to live with in his apartment. Where the monkey goes on a bunch of adventures / attempts to escape his captor. And this man has the audacity to call this monkey curious. Yes, I would have some questions as well. Who are you? Where am I? Why do I understand English for no reason? And you knew something was wrong with this guy because his name was the man in the yellow hat. That is not a real name. That is the description of a suspect. Police interviewing Curious George's mother. Can you describe the man that kidnapped your son? All I remember was that he was a man wearing a yellow hat. Well, you didn't specify his race, so we know he's white. And a yellow hat. Well, no way he's gonna wear the exact same thing for every book of this series. But the thing is, it wasn't just a yellow hat, man. It was yellow pants, yellow shirt, yellow tie, pointy yellow hat. You see what I'm saying? This sick was dressed like a banana. He was kidnapping monkeys while dressed like a banana. He was the John Wayne Gacy of monkey trafficking. Number 1 threat to monkeys, man in the yellow hat. Number 2 threat, of course, monkeys jumping on the bed. His one fell down and he broke his head. And apparently none of the other monkeys learned that lesson. And they kept jumping on the bed. And the corpses of monkeys went all the way to the ceiling, and it was absolutely horrific. Man, I need more adult friends, man. Shit.
People would get away with crazy stuff in Chicago. Like, there was a bar called Coconut Joe's, a beach bar, nowhere near a beach. And there were like a thatched roof and tiki drinks and all that stuff. And they had this amazing, fun, and super safe thing they do where they just take a bottle of 151 and pour it all over the bar, splashing, not in just a nice line, just everywhere. Light a match, just light the whole bar on fire. And you're like, oh, yay, arson. What a good time. And they'd never warn you. Like, that's how piratey it was. And one night, there's a dude laying back against the bar like this in a tank top, and he had the most back, shoulder, and arm hair I've ever seen in my life. Like thick, like a Wookiee or a mammoth. So much hair. Like that thickness where if you took a baseball and set it on it, it wouldn't sink. It would just lay on the green right there. And he's just laying there, and sure enough, this dude's pouring the rum, and I'm like, oh, like I see it about to happen. But my throat seized up because I was so afraid. Whole thing went on fire, and so did this dude. Like, whole back and shoulders, just, and we threw a jacket on him. Thank God Chicago's always cold. There's always a pile of jackets. We grabbed 2 jackets and just covered them, right? Put them out. And I learned something horrible about myself, which is if I see someone catch fire, the first thing I do or say is not, oh no, let's help him. We should put him out. That guy's on fire, right? The first reaction that comes out of me instinctively is, wow. Oh no. Oh, is he all right? I didn't know back hair caught that fast.
I'm getting tired of the way companies advertise to women. There's this thing called femertizing, where they put a feminist lean to commercials to sell more stuff. And it works sometimes, but the way they're doing it now keeps getting weirder and farther away from the product. Because they want to tug at our like feminist heartstrings. So they're essentially like, you enjoy being girl, right? And you like that girls were able to girl before you, girl? And you want girls to be able to girl after you, girl? Then buy Friskies. What? The cat food? Was this like a joke the whole time?
I try to make myself feel better by telling myself it's not a Southern accent thing, it's an American accent thing. Like the idea that any thick regional American accent can sound kind of dumb, not just this one, you know? Like if you go to the doctor to get some test results back, yeah, you don't want this accent from the doctor. I know, you don't, right? You don't. But you also don't want some meatball from the Bronx, you know, like, listen, this is what it is, you got stage 4 cancer, what are you gonna do? No, what are you gonna do? I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna take your chemo, you're gonna take your radiation, you're gonna kick cancers. Actually, I didn't want a Bronx doctor. I take that back. That sounds pretty inspiring, actually. But like if you're on a plane in the Midwest and the pilot comes on like, okay, got a little snow system up here, just gonna scooch right by there, don't you know? No whoops-a-daisies today, no sir, gonna be a hoot.
So these days, for me, it's Delta. Mostly it's because when I fly there, they call me a sky priority. And I like the sound of that. At first, it's too much. You're like, sky priority? You know, please, I'm a regular citizen like everyone else. One man, one vote. I never asked for anything more. Please, my father was a sky priority. But then they keep repeating it. They massage your ego with it, with little perks. Oh, right this way, sky priority, a slightly shorter line. And then you find yourself agreeing with it, like, well, yes, of course. There's a certain ring to it after all. Sky priority. There's nothing wrong with that. My mother always said we were destined for greatness. Sky priority. I think I deserve a separately stanchioned entrance once in a while. Excuse me, are you staring at me? I'm going to move my bag over here. You can look in your own direction. I'm a sky priority, thank you. Well, that's it means that I'm a priority of these damn skies. All the airlines, they have little categories that they have to compliment you. Make you feel special because you paid too much money or you got lucky and you're in exit row or something. They have these frequent flyer programs. They've been doing these since the 1980s. And it used to start out with just gold. That was the that was what it all was 40 years ago. Congratulations, you're one of our gold members. But they had to pile on more to sound more special than that over the years. So at this point, gold status is the lowest category on any air. Gold is the worst. When they board the flight, they're like, we now welcome gold. Boo! Gold will board last in shame. Gold will be stuffed into the fuselage along with the luggage. Now they have all these categories that are outrank gold, and it's when you board the flight, it's just a parade of precious metals and gemstones. To get on the flight, when they board, they're like, "We now prepare to welcome aboard all members of the elite Sapphire Squadron. All the rest of you will bow your heads. Contemplate the sacrifice of the Sapphire Squadron. And you will kneel. Respect and deference as the Sapphire Squadron. The jetway is yours." Oh, what's this? The sacred horn of the sky? What a rare and lucky day. That means that we have someone that outranks even the Sapphire Squadron. The Sapphire Squadron must yield. Yes, yield, I say. For today we welcome aboard a member of the Hermetic Order of the Platinum Chalice. Whatever it is, there's one guy. He's like, "Why, yes, I'm Platinum Chalice. I'm wearing my epaulets to prove it. I flew 50,000 miles yesterday. Here's the one extra bag that entitles me to excuse me. I'm a member of the Platinum Chalice. I am a member of the Sapphire Squadron, and I suggest you tread lightly. I am also beloved of this airline." "Oh, the Sapphire Squadron, I've heard of you. Out of my way, dog. You will pay for this insolence once the One World Alliance hears of it." That's what's happening on Delta Airlines. That's what's happening in the shadow realm. Get into it. Open your eyes. Open your third eyes.
I think white people are the only race of people that like to be scared for fun. Like, you feel me? Not an attack. Doesn't make you bad. Makes you interesting. But not bad, but bungee jumping, skydiving, swimming with sharks, these are torture tactics. Some of you pay for them. That's a curveball. I just think white people get to have a different relationship with fear. Doesn't make anyone bad. I just think it's an interesting observation. White people can have a different relationship with fear. Like, I think white people are the only people you could walk up to and just be like, "Hey, you want to do something scary today?" And y'all won't just outright say no. You feel me? You'll be like, "Well, what do you got in mind?" You feel me? But like, you go to anybody of another race, they're like, "No." But like, white people have follow-up questions sometimes. They're like, "Well, what are you thinking?" Okay. Look at roller coasters, right? Theme park owners know white people love being scared so much, you'll pay for a picture of your own face terrified. That's their business model. That's how reliable it is. They were like, "Yeah, that's where we're gonna get the rest of the money." I've been in so many white homes and seen a framed picture of the entire family terrified. Why? Why is that even a thing? I haven't been in one black family's home and seen a picture of 4 black people absolutely terrified. And they're like, "Yeah, that's the time I got stuck up at gunpoint, right there. That's us. This is where I tried to sell my kids for my own life." So wild to me, man. And understand what I'm saying, because I understand I'm generally speaking, right? I'm speaking in generalities. I understand there's special case scenarios for everything. So please, like, I'm not being irresponsible with this. Just be on the same page with me. I'm just saying, generally speaking, though, that kind of holds true. I'm saying, generally speaking, I feel like white people feel fear so rarely that y'all schedule it as a vacation activity. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, literally put it on a schedule. You're like, at 12, we're gonna have lunch. At 1, we're gonna pet a tiger. You're like, what the f*** are you talking about? A tiger? Huh? You know what no one black has ever said to me? I want to go on a safari. Not once. I got so many black friends, no one's ever wanted to go. It's our country, and we're like, nah. But I have so many white friends that want to go. Doesn't make them bad. I'm just saying it's an interesting difference that you can spot and go, oh, okay. Why doesn't a safari sound insane to everybody? I didn't realize it was something we were so like polarized on. I thought we were all of the same mind, like that's f***ing crazy. And apparently we don't agree. I never understood like why it isn't crazy. You want to go to the zoo without the walls? That's what we want to do? You want to take away my favorite part of the zoo? The part where they can't get me? That's what we're taking away? Oh, all right. Every time I go to the zoo, people are looking at the animals. I'm looking at the structures. I'm like, that's a good wall. Like that net. Love that glass. I've never understood it. Why doesn't a safari sound dangerous to everybody? It's not even a safe web browser. You feel me? You ever open up Safari in front of somebody with Firefox? Like, what the f*** are you doing, man?
The only way I found out that we were not as wealthy as I thought was the first time I went over to a slightly richer family's house for Thanksgiving, and we all sat on the same kind of chair. I was blown away. I was like, you've got 11 of this one chair type? Are you secretly a duke of some sort? Like every holiday meal at my house would be like, Ivan, go get the computer chair for Grandma. I'm dragging it down the hall. I wanted the computer chair. My mom's yelling out of the kitchen, no chance. You are sharing the piano bench with your brother. And you know it. We didn't have a piano, by the way. It's just the bench. My uncle's at the end of the table sitting on a yoga ball. Got a hole in it nobody can find, so he's slowly sinking for the entire meal. And I was like, I don't think we're as rich as I thought. So this was a problem, of course, when it came to buying a diamond ring. I didn't know anything about it. I knew I had to go to a jewelry store. I knew that I was going to interact with a commission salesperson at that store, which I was nervous about because I'm uncomfortable around commission salespeople. I'm very easily bamboozled by their tricks. I'm sure you can all tell this from my general vibe. Anybody watching this that works in sales, as soon as I walked up here, thought to themselves, this guy buys extended warranties. I know what I look like. I don't exactly know the kind of energy I give off on a first impression. I do know that it means if I go to any type of ethnic restaurant, it is a 100% guarantee that I will be cautioned about spice. It's not easy getting a medium with this face. Yeah, I'll have a medium. No, you won't. Not here, you won't. You had our medium? I doubt it. Guy looked like you got a medium yesterday. We had to call an ambulance. So you can have a mild and a milk. There's a lot of things I wish I knew going into this jewelry store. Number one thing I wish I knew about buying an engagement ring is you don't get to take the ring home from the store that day. Whoops, wish I knew that. They gotta make it the right size. So I just drove to the mall, maxed out my credit card, and then drove home with nothing. Like, gee, I sure hope they call. But they did call. I got lucky, I guess. I go back to pick up the ring. This is where it gets weird again. I show up, I was like, hi, my name's Ivan. You said my ring was ready? And the guy goes, oh yeah, okay. Then he goes in the back, he comes out. He's got the ring in a tiny Ziploc bag, like it was evidence in a murder. And he tried to hand it to me like that. I didn't even accept it. And he goes, oh, do you need a box? Yeah. Who's proposing without the box? That's the whole thing. How smooth of a guy do you think I am that I'm gonna kneel down and just dangle that out there like, babe! You want to stay together till we're dead? They wrote my name on here in pen. Could be your name.
My wife, Lindsay's she's a good stepmom. She's great with the kids. She gets along with my ex-wife, which is nice. I get along with my ex-wife too, for the most part. We try and run parenting decisions by the other person. She's only done something once that really, really made me mad because she never ran it by me and I thought it was kind of an important decision. Just without consulting me, she just went out and got my kids a giant stepdad. And I didn't care for it. Had I been consulted, I would have preferred a tiny stepdad. It did irritate me. For whatever reason, I hoped and I assumed I would be the bigger dude. And I just wanted that to be reality. And then this guy's like 6'5", probably 250, 260. First time I saw him, I just had a sick feeling in my stomach. Just like, no! No! Why can't he be like 5'1", $110 or something? Some little step guy I could toss around to amuse the kids. That's a fun stepdad, the one who lets you toss him around. Hey kids, you want to see how high I can throw your stepdad today? It's funny, right? Get over here! Shouldn't matter. He's a good stepdad. He's nice to the kid. That's all that really matters. I don't think about him being bigger, a lot consciously, but he's definitely snuck into my subconscious. Because I'll be having weird daydreams. He'll make a cameo. I don't even know why I'm really thinking about it. So I was thinking about some little kid, playground argument. Like, yeah? Well, my dad could beat up your dad. Maybe. I don't know. He might not, if I really think about it. My stepdad could crush your dad for sure. My stepdad would destroy your dad. My dad, he'd probably have something funny to say about it. I don't know. He'd throw in a witty comment from a safe distance. Make up excuses later why he couldn't join in, I think it's every dad wants to be the alpha in the family. Like as a guy, you want to be able to protect the kids. Like if God forbid my kid's stepdad ever, did something like smacked him around, I would like to be able to smack him around without even thinking about it. Just go knock him around, see how he likes it. I want to be that kind of dad. I don't want to be the kind of dad who's like, what? Your stepdad hit you guys? Seriously, both of you? Man, that's rough. Bet that hurt. He's a big guy. He probably hits pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, you're in a tough spot. You're gonna want to think about what you did to upset him and probably try and just do less of that. Good luck. For years I tried to get these greeting cards on store shelves. It just never worked. I don't know why. I thought they were fun. I feel like there's kind of, meaner cards out there now, which is more my sense of humor, but maybe they just weren't ready for them. I had fun stuff like, Happy New Year's, buddy. I made a resolution to hang out with smarter, more attractive friends. You take care of yourself. I want to thank you for making me believe again in the possibility of Sasquatch. There's no way that thing's entirely human. Congratulations on your new baby. As each day passes, you grow older and weaker. I've been working out. Revenge is near. Happy Father's Day.
Got an Uber today, got in the car. First thing the guy says to me is like, do you mind if I talk to a friend? And I'm a normal guy, right? So I said, of course. And thank you for considering me a friend. We had the best conversation. It was so good. He was speaking Urdu and I responded in English. It was a beautiful cultural exchange. He kept doing this. I'm like, that must be a cultural gesture. So I did this. Thank you. But no, I'm good. I've been doing well. I've been cooking a lot. So good. I learned to cook online, right? But I think it's so special that recipes that used to be passed down from generation to generation. I think that's so special. So I got to tell my kids that my grandfather passed me down Jamie Oliver's superfood pasta. Tell them that Jamie Oliver's a province in China. We're from the Jamie people. I've been cooking. I've been eating at other people's houses. Diversify the portfolio, you know. I was at a friend's house eating dinner, and he cooked this lamb shoulder, and it took him 2 days to cook this lamb shoulder, and he was bragging about it. I didn't even know that was something you could brag about, like the amount of time it took you to prepare the meal. But I found it to be quite a good excuse to serve my guests leftovers. Oh, this is a 24-hour stir fry. This pizza's been dry aged for 7 days. Good stuff. I love food. I am a foodie. Guilty. Love food. I love coffee as well. Big coffee head. A couple of fans of coffee. Nice. I love coffee, but I reckon coffee culture's gone nuts. You know what I mean? Like, it's gone too far. Because there's coffee places everywhere. Like, I saw a coffee place in a rock climbing gym. I'm like, surely that's too far. Yeah. There's a coffee place at my local library. I saw a woman order a triple shot latte. I'm like, what book are you trying to read? Must be pretty tough. And, I was getting a coffee from my mechanics, and mechanics are like the last profession that there's no regular retail price, right? There's no sign behind them telling you how much it's going to cost. You can't just Google how much a service is, right? It's just numbers swirling around in their minds. Only they know on any given day how much they're going to fleece you. I don't know if you can tell this just by looking at me, but I'm not a pushover. That's not a funny bit. Got a great deal out of this guy. 2 tyres, $7,000. So. He did upsell me though. I reckon he upsold me. I don't think I needed the second tyre. I just went in for a latte. This mechanic, he kept saying the word roughly, right? He's like, it's roughly quite a big job. It's roughly going to take 1 to 2 days. Like, he kept saying the word roughly, and he got so in the habit of saying it that he started saying it when he was asking for my details. He was like, roughly, what's your phone number? I'm like, if you want a ballpark, it's about $500 million. Coffee's too strong. This stuff, it's too strong. You know, I mean, I remember back in the day, coffee used to be nice. You could drink coffee in the morning and go to sleep the same night. Like, you could even drink it at night time. Like, you could whip up a Blend 43, watch a couple of episodes, and then sink into the night, you know? Nowadays, I have a sip of coffee and I get anxiety and diarrhea. I see my barista and my guts flinch. Having a panic attack in the coffee store, I don't know. There's no drink that's as relaxing as coffee gets you G'd up. Someone's trying to tell me that it was chamomile tea, but chamomile tea sucks. Chamomile tea tastes like if water got wet. I don't know, maybe I'm being harsh. I like the scent of it. I've been using this new chamomile shampoo. Relaxing chamomile flavour. It's good stuff. I was using it for the first time. It's going so well. But then a bit of it got into my eye. And it stung a lot. But I was calm throughout the whole thing. I was like... I don't know. I don't understand it because people ask me to meet for a coffee. They're like, let's go meet for a coffee. I don't understand that because what I'm hearing is, let's go do a poo-poo. You know what I mean? It's a 1 hour meeting. We've only got a half an hour of face-to-face time. We're both paying in the toilets for 15 minutes each. All right, I don't know about that one. There was a big foodie during lockdown. Gained quite a bit of weight. At the end of lockdown, I had to go to the doctors for something else, hemorrhoids, and But at the end of the meeting, he gave me quite a stern warning. He's like, I'm sorry, but you have to lose 5 kilos if you want to look hot. He said that, and I was trying to figure out how to lose the weight. I was like going on YouTube, and there's all these different ideas about weight loss, and I couldn't like figure out what the correct one was because everyone's like arguing with everyone. And I found this one guy. He's called Carnivore MD, and his whole thing is a meat-only diet. But he reckons it's true because he's lived as a raw vegan for 8 years before that. So in his lifetime, he's had a balanced diet. But it's like, I don't know who to trust. I had to get a personal trainer, and this personal trainer was like, you gotta put down your body goals. You gotta dream big. He's like, think big. What are your body goals? And I was like, I would love to gain 2 foot. My dream to be 5'5". I'm good. I'm doing well. It's New Year, new me. Yeah. It's Chinese New Year. You don't hear about a lot of Chinese New Year resolutions. Hey? Like, I'm gonna set off more firecrackers this year. As Chinese New Year just passed, Year of the Tiger. I like the zodiacs in the Chinese New Year. You know how they have all those different zodiacs? Anyone celebrate Chinese New Year? Oh, you do? Are you Chinese or other? Other. Welcome. I'm mucking about. I like the zodiacs, but I think some of them, they sound quite offensive in the Western context. Like, I remember when my dad was introducing, like, our family to other people, and he'd tell other people our zodiacs. It sounds so rude. He'd be like, my wife's a pig. My daughter's a dog. And my son's a rat. You know? Anyway, they're all born in the year of the horse. So. It was meant to be a good year, the year of the tiger. It was meant to be a hot one. It was not off to a good start for me. Off to a terrible start, actually. First day of the year of the tiger, I walked back into my house and I caught my housemate washing her dog with my shampoo. I couldn't believe it. It was this relaxing chamomile stuff. It was good stuff. It was expensive. Like, it's the best one at the 7-Eleven. And on the side of the label it was like, vegan, organic, no animal testing. I had to call them up. I'm like, it's been tested. He really likes it, you know. He used so much of the shampoo, this guy, you know. I don't know if you know this, but dogs, they got a lot of hair. If you don't believe me, think about this. They got bodies. They don't use body wash. It's all shampoo, you know? You'd be wasting your time making a body wash for dogs. They only service this section. You know how they got that shaved bit? Some of you don't know about dog anatomy, but
Oh, I don't enjoy the bank. I hate going to the bank. I'm always in a rush when I go to the bank. I'm never prepared either. I never have one of those checking deposit slips on me. I have to fill it out there. You start filling it out, you see someone else walk in the bank, you have that little anxiety attack. You're like, oh, no. No, drop the pen. No, drop it, no. Drop the pen, lady! No, I'm not gonna be last in line because I'm having a problem spelling 13, okay? I hate being the only one in the bank, too. That sucks. You still gotta walk through the ropes. How smart do you feel then, right? Hey! Yeah, hey. Go around, okay, all right. I'm gonna make a deposit when I get to the front area. That's what I'll talk to you in a minute. This is, all right, yeah. They should have a guy handing out cups of water. All right, thank you. All right, good. There better be a hunk of cheese at the end of this maze, I'll tell you that much. I didn't realize this either, but there's a line on the floor at the end of the ropes that you're not allowed to cross
unless the bank teller nods you over. If you've ever walked right up to them, they freak out, right? Hey, how you doing? Sir, get back! Sir, get back! You can't come up here yet. I am not ready, sir. We're busy. We will nod you over when we are ready to go. It's even worse at the airport. When you go to the airport, there's like 1 million ticket agents lined up for like a quarter mile long. I don't like being the next on line there. There's way too much pressure there. Everybody's pumped up. They're all going on vacation. They're all looking at you. Hey, man, you're next. Yeah, I know I'm next. Shut the hell up. I know. You're all worried. Got my luggage. You're all ready. I know where it's going, right? And the ticket agent people are very impatient, right? Next, I'll take the next person. Sir, you're next. Right over here. Sir, I will take you right over here, sir. Sir, right over here. Okay, I don't freaking see you. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are. Everybody's pointing. It's over there. It's go there. I don't even know. Where do I go? What's over the other side? Sorry, I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know where to go. Sir, I'm looking right at you. Okay, that's not helping me. Marco! Then you're so pissed off by the time you get up there, you don't want to go on vacation anymore. Sir, did you pack your own bags? No, I had an Iranian guy named Phil plant a bomb in my ass. I love the questions at the airport because they make you feel real intelligent. Sir, do you know what's in your luggage? I tied a sock around my eyes and I packed with my feet. I'm thinking hot dogs and gunpowder. That's probably it. I like when the ticket agent tells you their job, too. They give you like a play-by-play of what they're doing. Right? It's like you care. You don't know what they're talking about. I was like late for a flight and I gave her my ticket. I was like, here, can you take care of this, please? She's like, let me see what I can do. Okay, your ticket is a code fare basis red. Now what I can try to do, I can try to punch it in as a green. Let me see if this works here. Backspace, semicolon, capital P. No, see, it's not accepting it, okay? Because your ticket is a T15011-6 as it stands right now. Now, what we can try to make it is a T6-15-411, but we will receive... Whatever! I gotta get to the Big Apple, sister! Move it along! Susie with the wings and the hair in a bun and I'm a vest. Punch it in and shut off. I hate when you're online with like a lot of luggage. That stinks. And then the line only moves like 4 feet. Right? Yeah. Thanks, sir. No, I gotta go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're good. Okay. Yeah, okay. Whew, it's a lot of luggage for a little amount of space, isn't it? Oh, we're moving again. We're going again.
My new fear, now that COVID has subsided, is being pushed onto the subway tracks. I don't know if you guys get our news here in Nashville, you know? The Nashville Tribune or the Nashville Inquisitor. I'm not sure what your paper is called. But we're pushing each other on the subway tracks. And the big problem is you don't know who's gonna push you. If it was one person, we could strategize around that individual, but it could be anybody. And I'll tell you what the answer isn't. Asking each person on the platform if they're thinking about pushing. Because I saw a guy who looked suspicious and I said, sir, you don't look right. Are you thinking about pushing? He goes, I wasn't before you mentioned it. But to be honest, now that you brought it up, it sounds like it might be refreshing. Yeah, guys, it's pushing season. So I just assumed I'm getting pushed, you know. Every time I'm on the platform, I get in a stance. Knee slightly bent, head on a swivel. You know, good form, getting ready to get pushed. Because I feel like if I get pushed, a lot of the trains are delayed. I can pop back up. Now I'm in that guy's head, you know? So no one talks about the pop-up. You're ready to get pushed. And you get pushed and you pop back up. It shows that guy I'm resilient, right? He's just gonna push me in front of a train, dog. Am I relating to some of the younger people that way? Maybe, should I say dog at the end of the jokes? It's just, I'm trying to relate to the Gen Zs. So I'm on the platform, knees slightly bent, head on a swivel, ready to get pushed. I see a guy I know, he's a waiter at one of the clubs I work. I go, hey man, what's up? How was your pandemic? He goes, pretty good. I go, are you going back to work soon? He goes, I don't do that anymore. I sell Bitcoin now. He goes, do you know what Bitcoin is? I go, I don't think anyone actually knows what Bitcoin is. He goes, well, let me explain it to you. And about 5 minutes into the explanation, I was like, I'd rather you just push me onto the tracks. So now I'm taking Lyft, and I know you guys probably don't take Lyft, you know, because you guys have cars. I'm sorry, trucks. I don't like Lyft, you know. I like to put in where I'm going. I want Lyft to give me the price and how long it's going to take to pick me up. And Lyft initially does that, but then they start negotiating, and I don't like that. They're like, hey, Mike, instead of picking you up in 4 minutes, how about we knock $1.75 off and we pick you up in 22 minutes? Would that be cool? No, Lyft, that would not be cool. I'm in a dangerous neighborhood. I might not be alive in 22 minutes. Well, how about we knock $4 off and we send you a car with a driver who may or may not be drunk? You might have to actually drive. How about we knock $8 off and we just send you a guy, no car? I go, is this even Lyft anymore? This feels like Grindr. This feels like a gay hookup app. And I am not gay. But I do love a discount. So I guess it's decision time for me. And how much feedback does Lyft need? I'm flying out of LaGuardia, which is one of our airports in New York. I fly out like at 6 a.m. I get to the airport, my phone's blowing up. I'm like, who's calling me this early? Who's texting me? It's Lyft. With a bunch of questions. How was the ride? Rate the driver. Review the ride. Give him a tip. Give him a compliment. I'm like, oh my God. I wanted a ride to the airport. I didn't want to become a foster parent. How much work is this? So I just did it old school, verbally. I go, Farik. His name was Farik. I say to him, I go, Farik, 4 out of 5 stars. You got me to the airport beautifully, but you were yelling at your wife in Farsi the entire trip. And I feel obligated to tell you that yelling is toxic and problematic. It's no longer ethnic. It is now toxic and problematic. Have you guys been flying during the Pandeezy? The Pandays? The Pandas. But all my flights have been delayed because they're cleaning and sanitizing the plane. That's what they say. We're cleaning and sanitizing every part of the plane. And it's like, can you get there 15 minutes early to clean and sanitize? They go, no, we're cleaning and sanitizing. That's the reason for our delays. Nobody overslept. We're cleaning and sanitizing every part of the plane. So I get on the plane and I head to the emergency row. That's where I sit. I'm a hero. and there's crumbs in my seat. So I go to the flight attendant, I go, did you clean and sanitize the plane? She goes, we cleaned and sanitized every part of the plane. I go, what'd you clean it with, cookies? And then I was gonna ask for seat reassignment. If you're not comfortable in the emergency row, you guys know that you can do that. You can ask for a seat reassignment. But have you ever asked for seat reassignment? They get real mad. You get more support asking for gender reassignment than you do for seat reassignment. I don't want you to think that I don't follow the rules. I do follow the rules. My problem is when someone is trying to exert power over me. I don't like that. If it's just the rules, I'll follow them. But when someone's trying to exert power, I buck. Example, I'm flying out of John F. Kennedy Airport. It's one of the airports we have in New York. So I'm taking my little bag, you know. I never check luggage. I have 5 outfits like this. So I take my little bag. Before I even get close to the woman, she goes, you're gonna have to check it. You're gonna have to check that. You will have to check it. And I go, but it's my emotional support bag. I have things in there that I need for emotional support. I watch you guys let people take dogs and pigs and chickens onto the plane. I would like to take my emotional support bag on. She goes, sir, that's not real. I go, apparently, miss, you don't know that much about mental health. Because it's very real. Now, I have a letter from my doctor. And I gave her the letter, and she read it, and she goes, this letter is fake. And I go, I know, I'm a liar, that's part of my disability. I need my emotional support bag. I have things in there for emotional support. She goes, there's a metal contraption next to the door. If you can fit your bag in that metal contraption, you could take it on the flight. So I try, guys, like 20 times, and it's not fitting. Yet I know that it will fit in the overhead compartment. This is a setup. So I have to take my bag back to her, defeated. And she goes, I'm very sorry, but like I said, you're gonna have to check your bag. I go, I don't think you are very sorry. I think you're quietly celebrating. And then there was a joke, you know, there was a joke to be made, so I made a joke. I go, I know this is John F. Kennedy Airport, but you're treating me like Lee Harvey Oswald. You know, give her a little shot, give her a little shot. A shot. She goes, be that as it may, sir, you will have to check your bag. I go, it's not even my bag. A stranger asked me to bring it onto the flight. And I'm trying to do somebody a solid. And this is what kindness gets at John F. Kennedy Airport? She goes, sir, what's so important that you have to take your bag on? What's in the bag? I go, I could tell you, but you're not gonna understand. She goes, try me. I go, inside the bag is Bitcoin. And she goes, what's Bitcoin? I go, well, let me explain it to you. And about 5 minutes into the explanation, she was like, just get on the plane. Take your stupid bag on the plane.
Don't whisper my name, that's weird. Like, it's weird to whisper in general. Think about it. Unless you're trying to be sexy, you telling a secret or being racist, you should not be whispering. It's weird, like homeless people know to project. Come on, man, let me get $1. Trying to borrow $1. You never see a homeless person just walk up to you, let me get $1. I wanna borrow $1 so bad, I wanna borrow $1. Mama say, mama side, mama uncle side. Here's $1, sir. I don't know why. I don't know why he did Michael Jackson lyrics. You know what Michael Jackson's saying in that song? He's saying, I'm gonna say it one more time, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna say it one more time, I'm not gonna stop. That's what he's saying. Someone ruined it for me, I'm ruining it for everybody, all right? I was mad too, I was like, what? But all of y'all for years, mama say, mom stop. Mama say. Those aren't words, bro. No one said that in life. Keep on playing, I'm gonna mock you, son. That's not a thing. People just believe anything they hear, man. Someone told me it was African. I was like, all right, mama say, mama say. I just went along with it. I was like, look at me, I'm bilingual. Mama say, mama. I just went along with it. That's not true. People believe anything they hear. And I know that for a fact because some of y'all believe me just now. And I lied. I made that up, man. I lied. Yeah, I lied. I lie all the time. I'm not even black. Check it out. My name is Gerry. No, I'm black. I'm black. That'd be funny, though, if I did that. I've been black the whole time. I did like a 23andMe and said I was 13% Irish. I was like, what? Where'd that come from? Are you serious? That's weird, you know? I do lie, but I'm not a liar, okay? I do regular lies. You know, I'll say stuff like on my way, or if I'm on a plane in emergency exit row and the flight attendant's like, hey, are you willing and able to sacrifice your life for a bunch of strangers? I'm like, yeah, I'm lying. I just want to do this. I'm not about to sacrifice nothing. I want leg room. I'm not about to sit all the way in the back, people scooting their booty past my neck. Excuse me, sorry. I'm so sorry. I just got to get the row, 87. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, did I pass it? Okay, here I go. Here's my booty again, stranger. Here's my booty. You ever come back from the restroom on a plane and someone's going to the restroom and you're like, oh, there's no room at all. Like, somebody about to take it to the face. I don't know which side I'm gonna give them, but didn't you skip me a line earlier? You know, you gotta pick and choose who you do it to. But, yeah, man. Planes are weird, man. They got like, I don't understand why the seats have flotation devices. Like, all of them have flotation devices, but not parachutes, right? Because we're flying over mostly not water. So why are these, they just have flotation devices. I'm bringing a parachute. Next time I go on the plane, I'm bringing another bag. They're like, why you got another bag? Don't worry about me, player. Don't worry about me. People gonna start freaking out. It's turbulence. It's turbulence. They gonna look at me, why aren't you freaking out? I'm like, don't worry about why I'm not freaking out. Where's Mercy X row? Is it over here? Let me see where's the Mercy at. Oh, man. But yeah, man, good to be alive. So, man. Yeah, I was, my mom named me Preacher. She called me Preacher. I didn't think of it. People think I thought of it. I didn't. When I was 2 weeks old, a bunch of people kept telling my mom, it's like, when he gets older, he's gonna be a preacher. He's gonna be a pastor. That's what they seen in me at 2 weeks old. I don't know what I was saying. At 2 weeks old, to give the impression I was gonna be a, what could I say? Goo goo gaga, goo, can I get a wire? You know, I don't know if I was changing my mom's milk into wine. I don't remember, you know, but I'll tell people my name is Preacher. Everyone here is Preacher, and they're like, there's no way he just said Preacher. So they start to think of different names on their own. They're like, what's your name? I'm like, Preacher. They're like, Richard? I'm like, nope. Clearly started with a P. They're like, Preston? And I'm like, I'm black, okay? You know my name isn't Preston. There's no such thing as a Black Preston. And if there is one, there's one, and he's probably called Black Preston, because that's how it works. I don't make the rules. That's like a white dude named Jamal. He white Jamal. Everybody know that. People get mad at my name. Are you an actual pastor? No, I'm not a pastor. Well, I'm not calling you that. Well, why would I call you that if you're not even blah, blah, blah. All right? Don't call me that then. But I got news for you. You know Jesus? He ain't actually Jesus, okay? Dr. Trae, not a doctor. Surprise. Everybody knows that The Rock is a human. I don't know why we're doing this. Preacher's not a weird name. I met some kid named Thevin with a TH. She's like, oh, I'm Thevin. I was like, your mom has a lisp, okay? There's no such thing as a Thevin. It's either her or the doctor's fault. I don't know who said it first. What's his name? Thevin. How many pounds he weigh? Thevin. You don't see the coincidence? I don't want to go to hell. I want to go to Thevin. Like, clearly, she got braces. You can tell that she spit when she talked, because I used to have braces. It flies out your mouth. You can't help it, you know? And you be like, what's up, you know? People get mad at you. I was looking at something earlier. I can't help it. I got braces, you know? Speaking of braces, anybody ever been to London? Because they don't believe in those. That's not a myth. I thought that was a myth, bro. All of them just all look like they inhale grenades at the same time. Like man, they don't need can openers down there. You understand? Like they just all look like Nigel Thornberry. But I had braces. I had Invisalign braces, which are, because my teeth were jacked up. I mean, I had a regular amount of jacked up. Like, I had gaps. Like, one time, I was eating cereal, and my spoon was missing. I was like, wait a second. This is the third time, so I decided to get some braces. I got Invisalign braces, which are great, because you can't see them, but then you had some people that had regular braces growing up. They get mad at me as if I invented Invisalign braces. Like, you didn't go through the struggle. My lips were bleeding. Nobody cares, bruh. If you had braces growing up, you probably had money, so I don't feel bad for you looking weird at 11. You're supposed to. I just stopped looking like a Pokemon 3 years ago. Let me be happy, man. People trying to catch me. I choose you, preacher, choose. Leave me alone. I'm trying to live my life. You guys laughed at that, but you honestly should have laughed harder. But whatever, it's fine. It's cool. Just gonna ruin my special. That was hilarious, man. You ever see a meme and you're laughing, you're like dying laughing at it. Then you show your friend, they're not laughing. That's how I felt just now. When y'all didn't laugh at my joke. And I just tried so hard. None of y'all give me that $20, sir. I would never kill myself. I think about it every day. But I'm not gonna, you know. That was dark. Speaking of dark, I'm black. You know, like, I am. I'm black. My whole body's black. Y'all notice that? Except this part. Ain't that weird? This is weird. This is not black. This is very weird. I remember as a kid that they would ask me questions like, why are you white on one side, black on the other? I was like, I don't know. I guess I didn't fully hit my growth spurt. I don't know why it works out though. Anytime I get pulled over, hey officer, I understand you don't want to give me that loan. Before you say no, no, it just comes in handy. So, that was stupid. That's what it deserved. I was born in Portland, Oregon. That's where I was born. So I think that's where I got it. Because there's no black people in Oregon. There's none. My shadow ain't even black in Oregon. There's like 4 black people. That's not true. There's 3. I left. So there's like 3 black people there. And Portland, Oregon, Portland is the whitest major city in America. And we live in Newburgh, which is like not even, Portland. And they're not, there was no black people at all. And they weren't racist down there. They just didn't like black people. And they was like, the kids weren't racist. The kids, they would always ask me, why you white? They would ask me the questions. But some of the parents, like I remember some of the parents, they were like, you can't play with my kid because you're black. And I'm like, whoa, before you say no, all right? But I was already a weird kid. I was already weird because I had like ADHD, A, B, C, D, E. I had it, I'll be talking about something like squirrel, threw me off, A lot of people think HGTV isn't real, and that's because they don't experience it. So they're like, oh, I think you might be hyper. And I am hyper. They tried to put me on medication when I was a kid. My mom was like, he'll grow out of it. She was wrong. I did not. I grew into it, baby. Became a comedian. But yeah, I was a weird kid, man. I wasn't like I collect rocks. I wasn't like that. I just, I was just kind of like, I don't got a favorite color, I feel like most people don't have favorite colors. Yeah, this lady is particular. She doesn't. She's like, I thought I was the only one. No. You wooed like there was gonna be more people, and you were like, wow, oh, only me. Okay, I thought there was more. Okay. You don't have a favorite color either? Oh, why'd you yell? Oh my gosh. That was wrong. You didn't do it right, but all right. What's your favorite color? Green? Okay, cool. Earth lady. Okay, we get it. He probably clapped. He's like, yeah. You like green? No, I don't have a favorite color. Y'all doing the opposites. Now, this is what I feel like. I feel like it depends. What is it for, you know? Because I like wearing yellow because yellow goes good with chocolate. But I'm not about to have a yellow car, you know? Like if you have a yellow car, you got a Lamborghini or a discount. You didn't do that on purpose. You know? It just depends.